All right, everyone, welcome back to TNT Digital Mindset. Today, we're cutting through the noise and zeroing in on the digital trends that actually matter. I've leveraged advanced AI to distill the latest research into clear, actionable insights, so we can focus on strategy, not fluff. Let's get started.
You ever feel like you're just drowning in business ideas? You've got 1,000 tabs open, a dozen notebooks filled, but no actual path forward? Yeah, it's a super common feeling. That paralysis you get from having way too many options and no clear system to follow. So, the real question we need to answer is this. How do we actually get from a concept floating around in our heads to a real business that, works? And how do we do it without burning through all our savings or just getting completely lost? Well, the answer isn't some secret formula. It's actually a clear, actionable blueprint. And this is our roadmap for today. First, we're going to figure out how to even choose a path. Then, we'll build a super simple internal map. After that, and this is the crucial part, we'll figure out if people will actually want to buy what you're selling. And finally, we'll cover the simple rules of money that'll keep you in the game. Okay, let's dive right in. Part 1, where to even begin? Look, the goal here isn't to find some mythical perfect idea. It's about finding a real, practical opportunity and just getting the ball rolling. Instead of just chasing whatever seems exciting, the smart way to do this is to filter your options through these 4 practical variables. How much cash do you really need up front? What skills are an absolute must-have? How big can this thing get before it breaks? And maybe, most importantly, can you get it launched in under a month so you can start learning from the real world? This isn't about killing your creativity, it's about focusing it. Now, this right here, this is a huge mental shift. You have to stop asking, what can I sell? And instead, start asking, what annoying, persistent problem can I solve? This is the absolute foundation of any business that provides real value. And this is the perfect example, right? Airbnb didn't invent renting rooms. What they did was see 2 different problems at the same time. Travelers couldn't find affordable places to stay, and homeowners had all this empty space. Their business was simply the bridge connecting the 2. You find a real pain point, and I promise you, you've found a business opportunity. So once you've got a problem to solve, you need a plan. But let's be clear, forget those 50-page business plans you write for investors. We're talking about a simple 1-page blueprint. This is for you. It's your internal map, your system for making smart decisions. It just needs to answer these 4 questions. Who is this for? What exactly are you selling? How are you actually going to deliver it? And how is anyone ever going to find out about it? Just answering these forces you to think through the entire system before you spend a single dollar. Okay, now we get to what is without a doubt the most important section. This is the one step that separates the businesses that make it from the ones that just turn into expensive hobbies. You have to validate your idea. Just look at this number. Half. 50% of all new businesses are gone within 5 years. And it's usually not because of competition or some bad luck. It almost always comes down to one single fatal mistake. And that mistake is building something nobody wants. It's a lack of what we call product-market fit. Now, that's a bit of a fancy term for a really simple idea. Have you built something that enough people desperately want? Because if you don't have this, nothing else matters. Your marketing could be brilliant. Your website could be beautiful, but you're just pushing a boulder uphill. So how do you find it? You don't guess, you run a system. First, launch a really basic version, a minimum viable product, just to get real feedback. Second, you have to listen to that feedback and be totally willing to adapt, even if it means throwing out your original idea. And third, you have to talk to your early users. Their behavior will tell you everything you need to know. And here's a really practical way to measure if you're on the right track. It's called the Sean Ellis test. You basically just send a survey to your users with this one single powerful question. Their answers are going to give you a brutally honest signal about whether you've actually created something valuable. And here's the signal you are looking for. If at least 40% of your users say they would be extremely disappointed if your product just disappeared tomorrow, you've probably found product market fit. You have a core group of fans. If you're below that number, well, you've still got work to do. All right, so you've got something people actually want. Fantastic. Now you have to avoid the second biggest killer of businesses, terrible money management. So let's quickly cover the simple, non-negotiable rules for handling the lifeblood of your company. Rule number 1 is an absolute deal breaker. Separate your money. Open a dedicated business bank account from day 1. And rule number 2 is all about mindset. You have to reinvest your profits back into the business to fuel its growth. You build the engine first, then you get to enjoy the ride. This brings us to a really crucial concept: cash flow. Please do not confuse this with profit. A business can be profitable on paper but go completely bankrupt because it runs out of actual cash. You can't pay your rent with accounts receivable. Cash in the bank is what keeps the lights on, period. And that leads us to the final golden rule of survival. You must always maintain a cash buffer. Your goal should be to have enough cash sitting in the bank to cover 3 to 6 months of all your operating expenses. This buffer is your safety net. It's what allows you to make smart decisions instead of desperate ones.
So look, if you take away just one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Success is not about finding some magical, perfect idea. It's about consistently executing a simple, logical system. Focus on solving a real problem, test your solution relentlessly, and manage your money like your life depends on it.
If this direct, no-fluff, systems-based approach to building things makes sense to you, and you want more insights that just cut right through the noise, make sure you subscribe to TNT Digital Mindset. I'll see you in the next one.